now I'm going to go through some of the disaster / camping boxes that we have. Not entirely certain why the cat tourniquet is right there, but it is. So these boxes have a checklist, and you can see it's already been checked off. This was from a previous time, and I haven't printed off a new one, so this time I'm just going to mark it in Sharpie instead. So starting off, the Goal Zero battery pack, that's that little thing over there, and I have it charging. It is at 95%. So getting that charged up, and if you aren't familiar with those, I'll show you. Those are great little things because you can run all sorts of different things. They've got all kinds of plugs. This is one of the little baby ones, so it can't run a whole lot, but we can run a fan for our propane furnace. We can run, we can charge have some heated car blankets. We can charge our phones. We can run our wireless router if we need internet. We can run a small TV and an antenna to stay connected with everyone. It works really great. It's certainly not a whole house electricity replacement, but it works great for the little things you might need to do. So that's charging. And to that, I'm also going to make sure that I write to charge ego batteries. So we have several different ego battery powered things. Push mower, leaf blower, chainsaw, that kind of stuff. I like to make sure the batteries are charged up on those because you never know if you might need the chainsaw. And if it's a light powdery snow, if it's light enough, you actually can use the leaf blower to get it out of your way. So definitely have to make sure that I do that. So let's see if we can find the other things on this list. So we did add, since the last time we did this list, we did add a sewing kit into the box. So that's a new one that's on the list. Let's see what else we have in here. So a bottle of butane for the portable stove. Then we also have these. And I need to check and see exactly which ones we need. I'm pretty sure the stove we decided to keep needs this one and not these, but I need to make sure. Do have a emergency radio here. And it has the ability, it has a little solar panel, so it can be solar charged. You can plug it in and charge it. And it also, you can crank it on this end and charge it if you want. It does have a light on the end. And you also can put actual batteries in it and power it that way. So I'm going to get my battery charger real quick and check these batteries. Okay, so I gave all the batteries a test. This is a little battery tester here in my hand. I have the battery engaged and it's showing good. So when I take the battery out, I'll show you. That's what this little device looks like. Takes no batteries, doesn't need any sort of charging or anything, and you just stick your battery in. Hold on, it's hard to do one-handed. You just take, and it's spring-loaded, and you put positive end on that side, negative end on this side, and then it will slide to wherever your battery's charge is. It works really great, and I like to make sure that I test my batteries in all of these devices, because just because it turns on doesn't mean that that battery is good and it's going to last very long. So I like to make sure in things like this that I have good or excellent batteries in them. That way you don't run into that problem. So I'm going to get these back in here. And well, and then put them in the right way. So it's a little more difficult to do so. There we go. Hard to do one-handed. And then this little green thing, of course, is the rechargeable battery that lives in there. Alright. Why are you not? Okay, well, I'll fiddle with that in a minute. But, so, that is our emergency radio. Check. And we have the goal 0 being charged. Now, we'll look for the other things. So, I saw the lanterns. And so these are what I'm calling lanterns. And they are battery operated LED lights. And you can hang them, you can sit them, you can do whatever you want, but you just pull them open and you have light. So that one's good to go. And the beautiful thing about LEDs is that these will last for a very long time without using very much power at all. You can see that one's working as well. So that's great. I also have one of these in each of the bathrooms. So I'll need to go and check the batteries in those and make sure they're good. And if you do have lights in different places throughout your house for a power outage situation, make sure everyone in your house knows where they are, because they are not useful if you can't find them. We always have extra batteries in here. Make sure to check off the lanterns. And I don't know why lanterns is on there twice, but it is. We also have the butane. We have batteries. These are AA's. I'm pretty sure, yep, there's AA's in the box. Don't need D batteries at the moment, so I don't have any of those. This is a box of chargers. So we have phone chargers, tablet chargers, that sort of thing. This is a charger for the little battery operated fan that we put on top of the furnace if we need it. That's a light. So a bunch of just random chargers there. This is the one for the radio, so we'll get that charged up as well. And then further in this box, we have a hot plate in case we need it. It's electric, so you can plug it in. And then we also have this little mini cooker skillet thing as well. Same thing, electric, so we can plug it into that little power station and run that if we need to. So I'm going to pack all this back in this box and put that battery on charge, and then we'll move to the next box. In this box, we have 2 of these, which are heated blankets. They're 12 volt, and they're made for cars. But as I was saying, we can plug them into that little power bank and have heated blankets when it gets really cold or when we don't have power. The other thing, this is a portable DVD player. So it has the DVD player in the bottom and the screen up top. Bag with all the wires for it. These little silicone bags are great for organizing cords and things. I don't like them for food because they impart a taste and a smell in your food. So if you know of a silicone bag that doesn't make your food taste and smell like the silicone bag, I'd love to know. These are that brand, and they make everything taste and smell like them, so I use them for storage instead, for non-food storage. So like I was saying, 2 of these blankets. These are shower curtains and some rope that goes with the shower curtains. And what we do with those is we string the shower curtains onto these ropes, and then I'll show you. So this is a very old house, and we have an upstairs, and if you can see, there's no door or anything up there. It's wide open. So if you see, there used to be a door there before we moved in, but there's not a door there anymore. So all of the cold air and everything hangs out in this huge open space up there. So what we do is when it gets really cold or we lose power, you'll see some little, let's see if you can see them. See that hook there? And there's one over here, right over here, and there's one over here. And we'll take that rope and string the shower curtains on that rope and then let the curtains hang down all the way around here. And that keeps the heat down here because this is the main living room and it has our propane logs. So for some reason we are out of electricity and we have to use those propane logs. We can turn that room into our bedroom living space. And these prevent the heat from going up the stairs and us losing it. It kind of makes a nice little cocoon there. So that's a great idea if you do lose power or you're trying to heat more efficiently. Block off the areas you absolutely don't need to be in. If you have extra rooms or things, just block them off so that you're not heating them unnecessarily. The other thing we have is tea lights. I don't know if you know what a tea light is. They're these little candles, if I can get the box open. Let's see. They're the little candles like such. And you can use them for a tiny bit of extra heat. You can supposedly cook on top of them. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to have to try that. And if nothing else, they just give you some light and make you not feel so alone in the darkness. So we have those. There's not a lighter in this box because we have several lighters in the drawer in the kitchen. So I don't have to worry about that. And then also in here is some emergency toilet paper, just in case. We all lived through COVID, so you never know when that's going to be a thing. And if nothing else, it's a good fire starter. So I do not see, let's see what's on my list here. So I do not see this battery fan, so I have to find that. Let's see. And that is our little propane gas logs don't have a fan on them. So we use the battery operated fan, sit it on top, and that will make the heat move around throughout the room. Otherwise it's just kind of stationary there. Don't have any battery powered candles. I don't think we need those. We do have flashlights in lots of different places and those lanterns, so I think we're good on that. Battery fan's the same one we were already talking about, it's just on there twice. Solar charger I didn't see, so I need to see if I can find that. Shower curtains are in there. The rope is in there. Folder with important documents, not in there, but probably not pertinent today. But that's pretty much what we have in there. So that kind of covers our, what we call disaster boxes. And they just live in the closet. I try to bring them out at least quarterly to check batteries and charge things that need to be charged, so that those batteries don't lose life. But yeah, so that's how those go, and we'll show you something else. So I kind of skimmed over the portable DVD player, and this actually is a really great thing to have when the power's out. So it has its own rechargeable battery bank inside of it, and it obviously also has its DVD player already contained, and then a screen as well. And of course you can plug other auxiliary things into it and everything, but this, I have it charging right now, but this typically will last you at least one full 1.5 to 2 hour movie on one battery charge without any problems. So it's a great thing to have. Just make sure you remember to charge it, because I almost forgot. If you can get your hands on one of these, they're super helpful. This is a little antenna for your TV, so you can get local channels, things on the air. With this, we get about, I think we can get about 30 channels with it. And so those will be your local to you. So even if you're camping or wherever you are, they'll be your local channels, your local TV stations, which means you'll be able to keep up with the weather and the news and anything else you might need to know We keep this in our disaster box as well. Usually right now it's not in there because we're using it. But I have this that I can plug into a small little TV, and the Goal Zero battery bank can power it without any trouble, and we can keep an eye on the local weather and news. Another trick is to put rugs and carpets down on big expanses of wide open floor. Especially, like I said, I live in a really old house, and I know that this floor is an addition, and it has a deep enough crawl space under it that you can stand up, so basically a basement. So this section of floor, this part of the house, doesn't have any insulation under this floor. So this floor gets incredibly cold, which also radiates into your room. So I had an extra rug upstairs, brought it down, rolled it out, and it's going to hopefully give us a little bit of insulation in this room. Another thing, make sure you have plenty of water, just in case. I like to get water in these big, like, gallon jugs, because I can refill them and reuse them. So when I know another storm's coming, if I've emptied this out, I can refill it with my own water and just keep it stored. Also, fill your bathtub with some water. If nothing else, you can flush your toilets if you need to. And we all know we've gotten addicted to our indoor plumbing, so definitely want to make sure that works. So one of the next things is to cover as many of these big windows as I can. So this window is, probably 5 foot tall by 7 or 8 feet wide. So that's a massive, it's 2 windows, but that's a massive section of glass that's allowing a lot of heat exchange. So what I'm going to do is I have this big piece of thick, you can see how thick that is, of thick fabric that I actually had bought to turn into a Christmas blanket, but as you can see with its still unfinished edge, that never happened. So what I've been doing instead is using it to cover big windows like this. And I have several different pieces like this, and several of the large expanses of windows like this, especially on the north side of my house, the cold side that's not going to get the evening sun and have any chance to heat up my house. Those I'm going to make sure that I cover with these really cold temperatures. Okay, so there's that done, and I don't know if you can see or not, but I have 2 binder clips. I wrapped the top edge over the curtain rod and then clipped it to itself on either end, and it almost covers the whole window. It doesn't cover these last 2 edges, but these edges have 2 curtains on them where the center only had the sheer panel, so that does help a little bit. And then of course I have to leave a gap because that's where the cat's bird feeder is. So I'm actually going to move his feeder over here further because it's actually over here. So I'm going to move his feeder over here so he can see better and make sure he has a little gap there so he can watch his birdies. But yeah, that will help significantly. I did take a temperature reading before I put it up, and the temperature reading right on this side of the sheer curtain was 66 degrees. So we'll give this a little while being up, and we'll see what the temperature in this room ends up being. One of the things I like to make sure I do when getting ready for bad weather is make sure the guest room is ready. So I have Christmas boxes and things that I need to put away. These are outdoor Christmas decorations I'm going to take down and put away real quick. This closet over here is storage for all decorations, so I'll get all of that put away. You'll see here, this is my collection of getting ready for the garden, so I'll get that put away. The mound of pillows, they'll get put on the bed. The bed has fresh linens on it. Get this laundry put away. This is actually the gym / guest room, so this is a big piece of weight equipment. There's a treadmill here, a bike over in the corner. But this is what we like to use as a guest room when we need it. And I like to have a guest room available, ready and available in case someone does, say my parents or my brother. They don't live in the same area as me, so they could be affected by the storm differently than I am. Last time we had a really bad ice storm, we were out for 11 days here, and my parents, about 30 minutes away, never lost power at all. So it's good to have another option if you need it. So I'm going to get this room tidied up, and we'll show you a quick transition. All right, there's the guest room sorted. On to the next job. Here's something that really helps, taking some wide painter's tape and using it around the edges of your entryway doors as a air barrier. And it seals it really nice, and you can just easily open your door and it unseals itself, and then you close your door back and it seals itself back up, and you can go around and play with it if you want to, but it pretty much unseals and seals itself every time you come and go. It doesn't mess up your paint. You peel it off at the end of the season and it works great.